Seconds remaining.
This year, I think they're more and they still try to make the rest they give more now, and I think they're on the changes, and then eventually up and down. So that's very exciting game. Yeah.
Where those teams actually stand like well, anyway, running was too little. I mean, the balance is going to so basically, it's like the second, it's like there are does that mean is that you change the game? I mean, they are bad you.
Team Empire's turn to pick.
I don't know if that was 8-0. I didn't actually get into a little bit more in-depth analysis. I wouldn't necessarily decide half away because management was sick. Why? Now, race all we need to do is follow the URL to the screen down there, go there, get up to Facebook pages, click that like button. I'm looking at something awesome, so I think it's way for that. Back to the man of the Swedish guy. I've seen 16-0. Does that like it as a mindset, or is it like you don't want it at all? I mean, we know I think we had a really good game, 16-8. I thought we had to try. I didn't feel like I really had to.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Team Empire's turn to ban.
Well, a big factor for Maniac is going to be the maps. Let's already been coming out. Now, what do you think of that one, Maniac? I'm surprised to see it. Are you surprised? Yeah, I'll tell you why. It's very, very good. In the past, but I wouldn't say, amazing. I think maps are MFF wants us to, when we look at the stats, it's not about you playing MFF right now. So crazy.
I'm not sure if they're one of our favorite easiest that was ice cream. Yeah. But I think that's what exactly says. Idealizing especially given like forecasting trading in general, where it's not very teams. So for me, it was in between the rounds just to it actually just to make sense because that is what we play. Having an open map is also a little easier to find a very global class / actually, for example, so an open map just makes sense. And be very easy to pick up again. It's not an extremely secure player. The Flores has amazing game because they from scratch. Russian always they took Russian like this is a open map for a good show. That's why it's going to be a great way to do around today. Anyway, we've got Paula. He's going to be on the stage there, and Boris and Jake is going to do pretty much it.
Lena.
Boris?
Team Empire's turn.
That is correct. Right, what's going on? How are you doing?
I feel like the Juggernaut.
Okay, just help us with Alright, so, couple of matches like that, 60 against LG. Is it dangerous? Playing a team arguably that's stronger and obviously trying to keep you all the time. Did you need 2 rounds going into it?
10 seconds
I do
remaining.
remember
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, what about going into this round? You know, you have pretty confident display in your matchup as well. Against NJ, now playing active, you're going to get the nice fish.
Radiant team pick.
Yeah. Although that's a human war, it's not going to be surviving for a long time.
It's still really expecting. What's that like? There's something like is there an extra because otherwise I think the chance is they were going crazy if you are going to sure they're going crazy.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Right, well guys, best of luck. They're going to shake hands. Great show of respect. Big break. Give me all the best. They're going to head back over.
I'll say it's one way to come back. Always help. So resolution will unfortunately, take one point.
So anyway, I'm going to take a look at how we're going to be remaining at this stage. Finals, so we've got a video of all that.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Empire's turn to ban. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
I think we're going to see something more team fire than that. You might find you're also there.
10 seconds
Maybe
remaining.
that lets you fight high. We're locked on. Maybe that lets you kind of variation smart, right? Right now you have the game on top of the right now.
Team Empire's turn to pick.
I don't know about that accuracy you drop out there. So let's look at first.
When he's feeling unstoppable. They exist. I think one of the most underrated they actually.
You can't see something this game.
And Alden, it's gonna be one of the toughest.
Actually, find out you're gonna take it in next time. For our first game, Lucky Player Fighters taking on Team Empire. Commentators.
It's impossible to say what he's going to do. I mean, he doesn't touch anything.
Look, we saw it there on the highlight reel, just get right, you know, and that lurking style. We had a ridiculous, we talk about statistically, whether it was,
This is going to be a very different kind of series than what we've seen so far. It's a series of firsts. It is the first time Empire meet MFF. It's the first elimination match. It's the first time we cast together. We see Mirana, we see Brewmaster, so much good stuff. Of course, I'm Sinner, and with me is PPD. Looking forward to casting with you for the first time. We got a good game, I think.
Yeah, these teams kind of, they lost their best of ones. Not a big deal. They can still bounce back, and this is a good time to do it when your back's against the wall. Elimination coming straight up.
So what do you think about the approach from MFF in this? Obviously, it was a very different draft from what we've been used to seeing so far. They grabbed a couple of trademark heroes for their players. Do you think Mirana is a hero in Dota right now? And what about Brew?
We've actually been playing around a bit with Mirana. Artur, if you ever watch his stream, he loves this hero for some reason. He's just totally fascinated by it. He's like, oh, this hero's so good. We're not the biggest believers in it yet, but we're not ruling out the possibility. Maybe Monkey Freedom Fighters has figured out the hero more than we have. So I think he's a hero with a lot of potential. I think his ultimate is very underrated. It can be, very, very effective, especially in the mid game before gems get picked up.
Yes, of course.
He also is very good at securing lanes, which is what a lot of teams are doing right now. It's just trying to win lanes.
Yeah, judging from the draft, as you said, it's good for the mid-game. It looks like both teams have really mid-game oriented drafts. There's Brewmaster on one side, the other team, of course, with the Invoker, who is known to be exceptionally strong in the mid-game, but maybe falls off a little bit later on. They have that together with, of course, the Darkseer and the Juggernaut, mostly considered also a mid-game carry, sometimes late. So I think we're in for a lot of mid-game aggression in this lineup.
I did like the Panda pickup a lot. It's actually really, really good this game. There's not a bunch of BKB heroes on Empire, so generally against Panda, you're like, oh, we can go fight once we have our BKBs. This game, Invoker's probably not going to buy one very early. Darkseer generally doesn't buy one too early, and then Juggernaut has the magic immunity with the spin, but after that, he's totally susceptible to anything that Panda wants to throw at him.
What do you think about this matchup for him, though? Brewmaster versus the Darkseer.
Yeah, that's the concern. I'm not sure how this lane goes. I mean, of course you say it's Darkseer favorite, but how favorite is it?
Demon is already in a lot of trouble, actually. Funnick really wants to dive for this Demon, of course, with the healing salve, though. We'll be diving off to the left. But that salve already being forced out here for Funnick. He has an advantage on regeneration. Mid lane at the same time, Shadow Fiend is starting to grab himself some of the first CS. They did help Resolution out a little bit with the Wyvern early on, and how about this matchup then? Oh, wait a second. Top lane, Juggernaut is actually going to get the first blood here over on Beaver Knight. Sing Sing in way too deep, and they might even get a secondary here. Kebab, if he's not careful, will be going back though. Maybe tried for the Nightmare setup into Light Strike Array, but of course, try versus try situation is very easy to take that off.
Yep, good heads up play. They noticed that Sing Sing had arrow first and have leap, so pretty easy kill once they figured that out.
And what's your read on this lane now? Of course, in try versus try situations, getting the first couple of kills generally decides the lane. So many heroes benefit and so many suffer.
Yeah, I think a lane like this is really tough to do against Wyvern, because I think if he gets his Cold Embrace at level 2, you just kind of Cold Embrace the hero that they're targeting, and all those right clicks just, do 0 damage. And the Juggernaut is free to do whatever he wants.
Mid lane Resolution. Some pressure onto Rise here. This is a pretty even matchup so far with the help that the Invoker got. Generally, Quas Invoker doesn't put too much pressure on the Shadow Fiend early on. Can, of course, try to beat him with regen. He's actually doing just that right now. Rotation coming in from Aloha Dance, but can't reach the...
Oh, that was close.
Telekinesis gets the level 1 Fate Bolt, but missing a little bit there. Rise with the salve is back up now. Funnick versus Demon again here in the bottom lane. Looks like Funnick is getting the way better exchange here. 12-2 against 5-2. Expected? Or do you think Demon should be doing a bit better here?
I think that level 1 engagement was pretty bad for Demon. He lost, he didn't get any CS under this tower, and he, barely got away with his life.
His arrow will fly astray here, so nothing really being found by Monkey Freedom Fighters.
His top lane is a concern, though. I'm not sure. If they're not able to get kills in this tri lane, that's pretty much why they picked it. They were like, okay, we're going to pick this aggressive tri lane, we're going to crush this lane, and then we're going to put Panda in the safe lane. And maybe he doesn't do great, but he still gets his levels. And losing this tri lane can be very, very bad for Monkey Freedom Fighters.
And there is that cold embrace you were talking about. It's very tempting in try versus try to skill the Splinter Blast just because of number of targets, but I think it's a very good read here from No Fears to go for that embrace. And Empires seem to be doing really well in all 3 lanes, actually, just winning out on farm.
Surprisingly, Joker's doing so well. I think this matchup is, I want to say, pretty Shadow Fiend favored. I mean, I imagine as the lane progresses, Shadow Fiend will get more and more ahead, and he'll eventually retreat to the jungle and surpass Invoker's farm. But
there's no one stacking for him, though. That's the downside with running an aggressive trialing here, is that
yeah, that's true as well. No stacks, he'll have to stack for himself. I know the new Alacrity, like the Exort Invoker, actually does super well against Shadow Fiend. It's actually a really hard matchup for SF.
Funnick starting to do the classic Darkseer play here, which you can very easily get away with when it's an aggressive trial lane on the opposite side. Just cut the wave, take all the CS. Brewmaster can't really farm that well into tower with the amount of regen he's already lost. Looks like Demon will, however, be getting... Was that a bottle flying out for him there? It was. Yeah, so he's got a bottle and an Invis rune. Could open up for a play, but he's already at a full level disadvantage. Actually more. Funnick is level 6, Demon's level 4.5. This is very, very one-sided in the bottom lane, tripling him on farm, too.
Funnick's awesome in these 1v1 matches. He's actually like one of the more scary offlaners to put your safe lane solo against. He just has a way about him where he just totally abuses the fact that you're, getting greedy on the lane, whether it's Darkseer, Batrider, Beastmaster. He's not afraid to like go beyond your tower and really punish you.
Is there any plans of rotation from the Radiant side? Kebab without a TP. There is also no TP on the Lina of Yapstor, so Monkey Freedom Fighters make it very clear that they're playing this in a static way. Do you think this in any way is going to pay off for them at some point? Are they going to reach like a critical point when they can actually kill this lane and win?
I don't think that they can kill the tri lane. I think that eventually they're going to see some rotations, and I think maybe mid, ganking the Invoker for the Shadow Fiend once he has a couple more points up in raises might be the play. But laning phase so far, I would say, is just almost disastrous for MFF.
It's a 2,000 gold lead out of more or less only CS. There's one kill, and the experience looks pretty similar with 1,500, almost 2K as well. It's pretty surprising they're so stubborn.
Well, Dire's tri lane is just polling in the top lane, so they're getting ahead in that lane. Like we said before, Darkseer is just totally destroying this Brewmaster in the Radiant safe lane. And then Invoker is, up there with Shadow Fiend, and that's as much as you can ask for.
And now we're going to reach that scary point for Invoker too. Resolution has got 2-3-1 build so far, so starting to have a lot of damage between EMP and Tornado onto Arise. Actually just going to burn his mana here and be a little bit of a nuisance and force him away. And actually Arise is choosing to fight here because of the rotation from Lina. The Tornado, what just happened there for Resolution? A little bit of a misclick, I think.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he probably could have tornadoed the SF there and got the kill, huh?
Yeah, it looked like he wasn't sure whether he wanted to tornado the Lina or the SF, and maybe went for a little bit of a goal between the two heroes, but unfortunately...
Yeah, he tornadoed the Lina so that he wouldn't get stunned, but he ended up, the Lina just like, he just cast the stun after he came down from the tornado and killed him. Minor misplay.
It's very important, though, for Arise here, who was looking to be killed off there by the Invoker. So the rotation at least puts him on level 7 here. He's going to get his bottle refilled as well. Coming back into the lane. And
it's huge for the Lina, too. Get that kill.
Yep.
That tri lane was going really poorly for him. He's now level 4. He's got boots, magic wand. He's back.
Do you see any kill potential for them in the bottom lane on Funnick? They can Dispel Magic, they can Cyclone the Surge. If Lina hits a stun, it's more or less a kill, right?
Yeah, it's a pretty low percentage play, I'd say. They gotta, Radiant has to play that almost perfectly, but in theory, I suppose it's possible. Not sure it's worth the risk, but we'll see.
Funnick's putting a lot of pressure, so he's definitely giving an opening here to Yapstor, but yeah, the Brewmaster can't follow through. He's being pushed behind his tower. Actually, the tier 1 is almost fallen already. 160 health on that one for MFF in the bot lane. And Mirana sitting, we haven't talked so much about this. We talked about the potential to kill. Looking at just the raw farm in the top lane too, Mirana 19 to the 42 of Juggernaut. It looks like MFF have finally had enough of that top lane and just abandoned it completely. Start looking for something else.
Time for opponents to turn into the true 4 and just Start throwing arrows from random spots and hoping for the best.
But this is not a lane he can play, right? He's against level 7 Invoker. Telekinesis not going to reach instant leap here from Beaver Knight. Maybe there's a turnaround potential here. Nightmare is actually connecting together with the stun. They do manage to layer it decently, at least here. Good Fate Bolt, though. Damage out on Beaver Knight and Kebab. No kills will be claimed just yet. No, Lena not trying for the Light Striker. And the tower did fall in the bottom lane, by the way. It was claimed by the Dire, so not denied at the very least. He is filthy rich right now. This is... What's that? Does he have anything on the courier? Oh, he went Soul Ring and Bottle, and he still has... He almost has a mech at minute 9. It's about as good as it gets. 60 CS. And the Jugger is pretty much on par with him, which to me is the surprising thing. I mean, Darkseer getting this lane, fairly predictable that he's going to win that, but Juggernaut got so much out of the top.
He really did. I think he got the first blood as well, so
yeah.
Big boost there. I think we're going to see a timing here where Empire hits mech on Darkseer, Invoker gets enough levels to do some things, whether he wants to get Urn, I'm not sure. Or he is getting the Urn. So yeah, we're going to have the Urn, Phase Boots on Invoker, mech on Darkseer. Juggernaut's going to be start pushing his own lane, and I'm not sure how much MFF can do to fight them. Maybe the Panda ult, maybe they'll see a big Panda ult, and that'll get them back in the game. A couple raises from SF.
Is there any sort of key item apart from the Brewmaster Blink? I guess that one's pretty obvious that you would be looking for MFF in order to be able to teamfight this at all. SF is probably headed towards... He has 2.3k, he could buy
Yeah,
that.
I'm not sure what he's going towards. Might just buy the mech. He could be going for... I mean, BKB is super awesome this game, but it's always a rough game. It's not that bad. I would like to see him just go treads BKB here, I think.
And then no mech?
Yeah, it's not that great against Juggernaut, though. Juggernaut's very good carry against Shadow Fiend.
He's holding on to his gold for now. Rise, surprisingly, very rarely do we see a Shadow Fiend hang on to this much gold 10 minutes in, but he seems like he hasn't made his decision just yet with
the
what he wants.
DSF, just get the brown boot blink. Start throwing some raises. It'd be exciting.
High risk, pretty low reward. Oh, there we go. They got the Nightmare into split, and this should be a kill on Funnick. Nope. They don't land the second raise, but with that Cyclone, should send up for the third, and Kebab will claim that kill. Big kill goes to the Brewmaster, so progressing toward the Blink. His gold count right now is about 1,000, so still quite a ways away from it, Demon, but at least making some progress. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Invisor on Yapster might be thinking about this. Actually lets the Light Strike Array go, but without Laguna Blade, there's no way he finds this kill.
Yeah, so it's going to be tough for MFF to defend this top tower now that Panda Split is down.
And steal Dragon Slave as well. Rubik has very quietly claimed level 6. There's a lot of good steals in this game. I think the main reason Lumi pointed out in the panel was, of course, being able to steal the Brewmaster Split. There's also Fiend's Grip.
Fiend's Grip, yep.
Arrow is a really good steal, too.
Anything from Totem is pretty good. Lena's spells are all very good, too, for the most part.
Oh, great thing.
Mid. He's going for it.
Yeah, Requiem is trying to find the angle with his Shadow Blade, but didn't manage. Do you think Shadow Blade is the choice of this game for a Rise?
Smoke up from Dire. Looks like they're getting ready to dive mid.
Oh, yep, they're going in. There is no Shadow Blade available just yet. All right, he just evaporated from that combo, as well as, of course, the Dragon Slave Fate Bolt. Lots of damage between that. You saw him being burst there. Maybe a chance to survive with the mech. Oh, Arrow does connect on No Fear, so at least there's going to be a return kill here. Laguna Blade committed as well from Yapster to claim that one. Well, I was going to ask you, Shadow Blade on Shadow Fiend in this game, yay or nay?
Shadow Blade, huh? You know...
Aw, Demon, he's in too far. Commits the wall, just needs to run next to him for a little bit and gets the punch here. Funnick, wow, the double iron shell play. Just got killed, he's back into it.
Funnick right there, the X Factor. He's in a little bit of trouble, though. Oh, he wasted the arrow.
Arrow wasted. They actually could be in trouble now for Baby Knight. Yeah, that's right. Beaver Knight barely gets away here. Sing Sing now on the retreat will be the rest of Empire. The Rubik will get caught by this raise by a Rise, so they do get that kill.
It's nice. He's got his souls immediately back after he died. It's convenient.
Yep. Resolution is thinking about it. They are within Moonlight Shadow, though, and looks like they're just going to retreat. Okay, maybe now we have time for the Shadow Blade.
Not the biggest fan. Yeah, they already have a Totem on their team, so that's one thing. They already have plenty of sentries out there for Totem. Also, you know, I just don't think it does as much as like other items. I think that like any of the other item builds are much better. I don't like mech against Quasarks and Joker. I really did like the BKB first. Also like SNY, Helmut Dom could be okay as well, or maybe even, I mean, Manta's not actually that bad this game against Juggernaut, but it's a fine item. We'll just see if we can get anything done with it.
I'm guessing we're going to see him transition into Treads and then BKB. Seems like a pretty likely build this time. Kebab trying to counter ward. Instead, he's going to get a double tornado on himself and his teammate Demon. All right, they commit another sentry.
That's why they come in packs of 2.
Yeah. Need to make sure to shut this map control down, as Empire do have a couple of other good wards. They have coverage around the Radiant top tier 2 and the middle tier 2. Definitely looking to... I'm guessing they want to start putting some pressure on this mid tier 1, especially if Brewmaster split is down. Should be within their reach. What do you think about Roshan timing for Empire, by the way, in this game?
Looking at Jug's item build, he's going for phase drum Yasha. Oh.
Yep.
No, okay. Yeah, I don't think the Juggernaut... I actually been talking a lot about Juggernaut builds. I'm pretty sure phase drum is not the build, but we'll see where he goes from after that. A lot of the Chinese Juggernauts were doing Battle Fury into like Blink. I thought that was pretty cool. Phase drum seems pretty underwhelming to me, but we've seen a lot of Dota like today that's just basically just run at the enemy, so maybe phase drum is the build.
It's a pretty, at least the good thing about this build is that it ramps up your farm very well. With both Yasha and drums, and FaZe of course runs very fast, and he's head of the curve, so that's pretty decent. Winter's Curse deployed onto Beaver Knight. He is just... Alright, he vanished, and so will this tower most likely. They do have Healing Ward committed. Looking to put the pressure here. Starstorm was the steal out from Aloha Dance. Don't think we're going to see MFF contest this. Do you think Empire could just transition into Roche right after this, or are they missing some sort of key ability in order to do that?
They just need to be careful of the Panda's Blink. That's pretty much it. I think that their team fight is
500 to go for that. They're actually going to dive onto Yapster. Omni Slash as well as Cold Snap going to make quick work of him. Silent does have the spin. Times it very nicely here. Actually, the whole boulder does go onto Funnick, but looks like MFF don't really have the numbers or the damage here to do anything, so they force out the split. They get the tower. Now this EMP will do some good. Actually, never mind. The Earth Crew is far away here, so good trade-off for Empire. Do they have anything to be scared of now for Roche if they have a sentry against the Shadow Blade?
I think Roshan's pretty free. They can just go ahead and go for it.
We'll see. There's a sentry on Aloha Dance.
The thing is, though, I feel like they can always kind of go for Roshan, so we might see them just kind of take back their jungle in this situation. Here we go.
He is thinking about it. No fear. Not too confident to let it go here. Actually just goes for, misses the first raise, but the 2 others will be enough. Of course, Arise with the haste rune.
That was close.
Quickly escape here, yeah.
Got
a little bit surprised by the movement pattern of No Fear. Meanwhile, bottom lane, good vacuum combo into the wall with EMP Tornado as well. Needs a little more damage here to claim Yapster. That's going to be done with the clap out here from Aloha Dance's Rubik. 2 in the grave, tier 2 should be claimed as collateral as well. And Empire starting to build a really sizable lead now, about 7,500. Seems like this could be on the way to becoming a very one-sided game. Kebab came in too close. He gets telekinesis into the other 2 heroes. Clap once again committed together with the Ion Shell. Now Beaver Knight is back in business, but he really doesn't have very much to provide right now. Lots of spam pings out on that wall. I'm not sure what exactly that was all about from Demon. And the tower should now be falling as well. What do you do with your MFF right now? It seems like everything's just falling apart very quickly.
Well, Shadowfiend's still farming. He's getting more and more items. I gotta think he's gotta go for a BKB. I think he bought another item. Let's see what he has.
Boots of Travel.
Boots of Travel, huh? Okay, well, he's going the farm build, so we'll see. I guess maybe they're just kind of trying to dodge team fights until Shadowfiend has the BKB, because I think once they have the BKB, they can take some fights, but even then, they could have some problems. I mean, they have the Wyvern ult to go through the BKB of Shadowfiend, also Juggernaut ulti could be quite problematic as well.
And now trademark play from Resolution here, getting his Orchid immediately into Ghost Walk, starts looking around, and he might have just found his victim already. Beaver Knight gonna get cold snapped as well as Orchided up. A couple of attacks need to come in. That should be enough. He is in far though, and there comes the Fiend Script. Good response from Monkey Freedom Fighters to turn that into a trade-off. Kill going to the Lina. Still, at the same time, Juggernaut will be forcing out the Shadow Fiend, knowing that the rest of his team is at the tier 3. So at the very least, Empire forced him back.
Shadow Fiend actually tried to kill him there with the what do you call it? Lothars into Requiem, but wasn't enough damage, and then he just TP'd out.
And the farm continues now for Silent. See what he goes for. His first item, Manta, or do you think it's a Scotty build-up?
For the Juggernaut?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. He's got the Yasha. It could just be Manta. It's not the best item in this game, but I guess you can remove, like, Panda's stuff. Yeah, he bought it.
With some good timing, you can dodge
Good for split push.
Lina spells. Good for split push, absolutely. Oh, Yapsar doesn't know what's about to hit him here. Funnick with the Invis runes just going to walk in. The Lightstriker actually does hit over on the Rubik, so maybe he did know what was going to hit him, but the mech comes out. Do have some Invis here from the Moonlight Shadow. Does puff the dust, though. Juggernaut, really quick kill on Kebab with the Omni Slash. And he rotates down to find Yapsar as well. 2 quick kills for Empire. Again, looking for every time they find these kills, they get more than the kill. Always collateral.
Yep, their movement's really good this game. Also, it helps that they have a Darkseer on their team, and one of the best things that people don't think about when they have a Darkseer is that Darkseer keeps all of your lanes pushed. Like that's a huge deal. Like there's only so much you can do on the map when your lanes are pushed. So by Darkseer keeping bottom lane wasn't pushed, but mid lane was pushed because of Darkseer, and then they were able to get some good kills while when the supports tried to keep push back out the lane.
Looks like Empire are going to try to use this advantage to look for Roche, but speaking of the lane push, this is actually one of the worst moments they've had in quite a while to go for Roshan. Middle lane is around the middle, the equilibrium in the bottom lane's at their tier 1. This is incredibly obvious from Freedom Fighters, and it's just a bait. They pull back.
Yeah, that ward on the hill there is pretty big. I think purple is not smoked, so they saw him.
Oh yeah.
So just like, oh, he's beelining for Roche. So
man, Arise is just going in really aggressively here. If there's any sentry there, he could just be losing his life for almost nothing. But gets a little bit of information. There's the blink clap split from Demon. 2 good raises from the side as well from Arise. Very, very nice kill over on the Rubik. Now they've got a Fiend Script on Sound as well.
Arrow.
Vacuum into a really good EMP, but it's not enough. No, well, the wall does come out, but it's a little bit late from Funnick. I think he didn't have the mana for it. And now Arise has the potential to wind up the Requiem. Actually cancels it, doesn't need it. They get the kill with the double Starstorm, and now they follow up on No Fear. Really, really big turnaround here for Monkey Freedom Fighters.
Arise,
4
man.
kills for nothing.
The Shadow Fiend plays. He's killing it.
Value on that Shadow Blade. And was that an SNY?
Yeah, he's going SNY. Forget the BKB, man. He says he doesn't need it.
That pretty much just put them... I mean, they're still behind, but it put them back in the game.
I mean, yeah. I trust him.
Solution. It's going to be porting to the top lane, looking for a Rise. Maybe he does have the Dust as well as the Orchid, but it has cooldown here on his spells, so... I don't know how he's going to get this kill. He needs some sort of help. And the TP is coming in from the Juggernaut. If Arise goes for this camp, this could be a really big problem.
I think he could do it solo, but...
He needs spells. It's going to Dust. Does the Orchid go in a moment? I guess. There we go. All right. Completely mistimed that, and Arise actually just takes him out solo now. Silent. Going to be looking for Arise. He is still dusted up, but there are creeps in the neighborhood, and there comes the Moonlight Shadow, but the only chunks to the creeps. Nice play by Arise. First of all, cutting the tree line to get in the fog, and then letting it go. That is not how I saw that play out.
Well, he didn't have his like invokers, like his invoked spells. They weren't like lined up for like what he wanted to do there, so he was kind of playing with cooldowns for a bit there.
And he felt forced to use the Dust because of the Shadow Blade. He had to go for the play, but...
Yeah.
Big backfire. Empire are losing a lot of momentum in this game right now. They still manage to hold their towers for the most part. Rise. Silver Edge. Running in here. Good engage from Yapsar. Alright, that's a pretty hard-hitting Shadow Fiend. Yules. Should be another kill. Good back wall from Funnick, but... Oh. You're not soloing 5 heroes. Instead, the game just turned around on his head within the last 3 minutes.
Yeah, it's just huge, man. They're on the back of the Shadow Fiend. They're just bringing it back. Also, Lina Yapsar is just, dominating from this 4 position. He's got so much farm.
Arcane's Yules, another 1,000. Do you think this is an Aghanim Scepter game for Lina, or you're looking for more utility like Force Staff, maybe Ghost Scepter?
You know, Ags isn't the best this game, but I still think it's pretty good against Juggernaut, and it also gives him lots of stats, makes him tanky. He can maybe survive an Omni Slash or Invoker's combo. I think it's fine. Seems good.
Seems good. Seems like it's first shot time for Empire as well. They know there's a couple of abilities on cooldown, of course. They know the Requiem was used, but it's actually ready again. But maybe it's more about the lane positioning. They feel like Monkey Freedom Fighters are not ready for this. This is a high-risk play, though. They do have a Sentry, of course, but it's actually about to expire pretty soon.
It's pretty high risk.
They have a gem.
Pandalt is up, but...
Wyvern. Yeah, MFF has no idea this is happening, so... Gonna claim it with that dire positioning here. Who'd you give the Aegis to? Juggernaut or Invoker?
I think you give it to Jug, so you can just kind of frontline, hit the buildings. It's pretty much the direction they're headed this game. Especially with this Juggernaut item build. Not a fan.
I haven't seen the Manta have much of an effect just yet. Arise. Hitting the tier 2 tower up.
He is going BKB now.
Yeah.
He's almost got it.
True. 700 to go. If he gets the tower in this creep wave, that should pretty much be it.
Yeah, he's mega farmed.
Shaping up to be a very close game now, and you gotta start wondering, now that Monkey Freedom Fighters are back into it, they do have a core Mirana. She's still very far behind on farm. What do you want to see out of Sing? He's got a Mithril Hammer. Is that a Deso or...
Yeah, I would imagine it's a Deso, for sure. More of a utility hero at this point. Doesn't seem like he's going to be carrying the game, but he picks up a Deso, maybe another damage item, then of course he'll be a Glass Cannon, but he'll still do some sizable damage.
Down in Biz. We will see Alola Dance's Rubik, but it's difficult for him to find an arrow angle here. However, Funnick might be a little bit of an easier catch. Never mind, gonna blink away, but pretty clear to Sing that Funnick will be farming this camp. And with the rotation from Arise, Funnick is actually gonna be in a lot of trouble here if he doesn't have Blink ready. He's screwed. Easy kill for the Mirana, and it is gonna be a Maelstrom actually. So looking for the farm build-up rather than the immediate Glass
Maelstrom,
Cannon.
huh? Yeah, okay.
Do you think this game's gonna go that late that it's gonna pay off?
I don't know. I thought Empire was going to be able to end this game pretty early, but they're kind of throwing away their lead here.
Tornado MP whiffing entirely from the Invoker. Might be a counterplay. Good Orchid, though. The Curse also over on Kebab, so some really big abilities being used here from Empire, but they're not finding the kills, and now Arise is going to show up. Gets a very quick kill over on Aloha Dance's Rubik with the help of the team script from Kebab, and they're trying to catch the Wyvern as well on the back end. Arrow from Sing just marginally off the mark. Still, I'm looking at this gold graph, and I'm just seeing green dots for the last 6 minutes. Nothing has worked out for Empire apart from that Roche.
Ever since that Invoker death, outside of Radiant's like tier 3 tower mid, they've been falling apart. Like, they've been split up constantly. They've been trying to go for these 1 to 2 man ganks. Of course, you know, their team fight isn't... I mean, they don't have a Panda on their team, but they still have a Darkseer Wyvern, and how many combos have we seen out of that?
I mean, we've seen some really good vacuum walls, but it's always when the rest of the team
imagine
is
if there's
dead.
Wyvern Curse there, maybe some Invoker spells, an Omni Slash.
See if they can manage to get together. Of course, they have a much clearer game, or you could say play call right now with the Aegis on Silent. Might make them gather up a little bit more, but it doesn't look like it. He's actually split pushing with the Aegis right now. The rest of his team is...
I mean, yeah, split pushing is fine, but gotta make sure you're, not throwing away.
Oh, they go in hard on this illusion of Arise. Not identifying that their smoke didn't break. Rubik with the telekinesis gave it all away, and Resolution even attacking him just made it even more obvious for Monkey Freedom Fighters. So they dodge another bullet. Monkey Freedom Fighters, they've got to be feeling pretty confident. Even though they're playing against Aegis, they now have the BKB on Arise, 10 seconds. Maelstrom is up. They have split ready.
They're going to take this fight into Aegis. Pretty confident right now.
We'll see if MFF can pull it off now. Of course, the last couple of team fights have been easier for them positioning-wise and what they've been up against. Tries to Manta dodge, just doesn't manage, but the arrow is going to miss. Actually, good Yule's play, though, from Yapster, buying some time, but there comes the vac wall combo that we've been looking for. Kebab's going to get cursed up. They're in a lot of trouble. Beaver Knight will be able to leap away from this as No Fear Cold embraces up himself. Barely staying alive in that Mirana. Silent trying to run him down. At the same time, we've got a Cyclone on the side, and Arise actually running down at least Aloha Dance, going in for a raise here. Gets another one over on Silent. That should be the Aegis with the Brain Sap, and it is. And now if Arise can time this perfectly with the Wreck Wave, he might be able to one-shot pop this Juggernaut.
Damn.
There we go. Styling all over Empire with the Shadow Fiend, and another kill now for the Brewmaster. Actually a mistiming there from the Vacuum Tornado play. And this should keep Demon alive if he dodges this EMP, which he will. Nightmare comes out from Kibop. No mana on Arise.
He's got a wand.
Yep. Could use that right now. Do they have any detection? They do not. One raise the second. I mean, that would have been cool to work. He was too slow.
I don't know, man. I feel like those were not the best. Like, if you had to guess where the Invoker may have been, I wouldn't have guessed those two spots. But regardless, huge plays. That Requiem on top of that Jug Ult was perfect timing. I don't think it even had time to spin. Maybe it was on cooldown, but you know what? I'll say it wasn't, and Rice just played it perfectly.
And no matter what, that looks extremely good. Resolution now in trouble in the mid lane. Getting comboed here. He's actually even going to lose the gem way out of bounds there. Big claim here again for Monkey Freedom Fighters. And for the first time this game, they're actually going to be leading now on gold pretty significantly too. They've claimed a couple of thousand now. Experience looking even better for them. You got to say, just in terms of game flow, Empire just don't seem to be landing their combos right in these fights.
Something happened, voice crack. Something happened mid-game and they just lost all forms of direction. Like there was some communication breakdowns or some strategy flaw of like what they wanted to do from like 15 to 25 minutes, and as a result all they did was die over and over, and the Shadow Fiend with his boots of travel was able to come into every single fight, back up his teammates, and just collect kills left and right.
The upside for Empire, though, is, of course, as far as farm goes on their 3 cores, they still have 3 in the top 4. Silent has picked up an MKB before there's any sort of evasion on the Radiant. There's Drunken Haze, I guess Drunken Brawler in the Brew. Would you have gone for this item?
Would I? I mean, I'm no Juggernaut player, but you know, I wouldn't have. I already talked about Juggernaut build. Not a big fan of the phase drums. But you know, MKB is not a bad item. It's awesome against Shadow Fiend. You know, Shadow Fiend, most often Shadow Fiends go for Butterfly. The mini stun is pretty nice too, especially Shadow Fiend doesn't have Shadow Fiend does have the BKB now though. Yeah, it's good versus Panda, but I mean, it's an okay item. The thing is, like, you go phase drum, tequila, like, you don't have too many slots, so he's got to get rid of his TP next or his Aquila and then pick up another item.
And there's no Butterfly coming out for Arise. He's going for what seems to be a Scotty right now, just tanking up very hard. Is there any value to any other item? Is there a good reason to get Lincolns here? Or
definitely not Lincolns. Lincolns is not the item. Scotty seems pretty good. Tanky enough to survive Omni Slash. He's got his BKB to handle whatever Wyvern, Darkseer, and Invoker want to throw at him. Yeah, I think that's the big concern right now, is he just got to survive Omni Slash, he'll be just fine.
Let's see if Empire have the tools to deal with the Shadow Fiend. It looks like Monkey Freedom Fighters are feeling confident enough to go for this bottom tier 2, so allowing Empire a 5-on-5 fight. Arrow is searching for the Darkseer, but he's long gone here. Do you think this is the right play for Monkey Freedom Fighters with no Aegis trying to knock on the front door here?
Pushing in, I think their team fight's stronger right now. That being said, they need to take the risk? I'm not sure. I think their issue is like I talked about before, Darkseer is keeping all their lanes pushed. So they're finding very few opportunities to actually establish like a push into a lane. Like we saw right there, Darkseer had that lane pushed all the way down to where their tier 2 used to be. And they have to work pretty hard to get that out, and it's kind of hard for them to go alone. They do have the gem now, I think, on Radiant, so they can kind of clear their own jungle of wards and make things a lot more safe for them to move around, which is nice.
This is a very quick Roche respawn. Yeah. It's like they found Yapsor out, but not really able to commit on him right now. And this should be a kill. Arrow combination perfect from Sing. They do grab the Rubik. And with Roche on the field, I guess neither team has seen it just yet. That's got to be the next point of contention here.
And nobody's really got any Roche Scout except for an Arrow. Arrow's pretty good. Actually, Arrow's pretty good. They got, Juggernaut Healing Ward too. They can throw to that.
Arrow, speaking of Arrow, beautiful hit from Sing onto No Fear. He's actually going to jump over. Starstorm going to hit twice. Perfectly ranged out there from Beaver Knight. The Curse doing quite some damage to him, but he's fine.
Stop hitting me.
That's a key cooldown, actually. Essentially wasted from No Fear. Is this enough for Roche? Knowing there's no Winter's Curse, they have split.
Should be a pretty free Roche.
Kebab is starting to set it up. What do you think about a skill build, by the way? No points in Enfeeble.
The skill build, you know, it's, you know, Bane is one of those heroes where you can pretty much go any, like, certain thing of skills. As long as you max Brain Sap first, should be okay. I've done this a couple times where you go stats over Enfeeble. It's mostly in games where you don't think you can, you know, safely secure Enfeebles, or whether or not it does that much to their carries. It's okay against Juggernaut, it's okay against Invoker, but the more HP you have, the more stats you have, the more you can, like, survive an Omni Slash, survive a Wyvern Darkseer combo. Those things are most important. Being able to get your Brain Staff off, and then eventually, you know, getting your Mean Script off on an important target.
Sensing is scouting out the Roche. Of course, they did bring it down half for Empire already. They got cold feet and backed out, so there's 25 seconds until they have Winter's Curse again and will be able to fight with their entire combo. And of course, this dire lineup is pretty scary to fight against in the Roche pit.
Absolutely, if we see a good Omni Slash too. That's pretty much what I'm looking for in this next fight.
Arrow, searching again. Sing, trying to get a freebie here, not happening. And their illusion has scouted them out, so Moonlight Shadow did not really bring anything with it there. Now it's a little bit of a standoff here where... Do the teams actually have any smokes? Empire, they've got one in stock in 30 seconds. I don't think they've got any on their heroes. And for the Radiant, it looks to be kind of the same story. No smokes available. Actually, yeah, 40 seconds for theirs in stock, so... Maybe we're going to see them try for a play with the next smoke. Maybe they're just going to go in regardless. Looks like it. Empire will be trying for it. Alacrity onto the Juggernaut. We'll be doing this pretty quickly. Dragonslave starting off their Raspin. Here comes Demon. Gets a good 3-man clap into Split. Getting some really good damage out. Arrow onto Funnick. That is huge if they can block him down, but doesn't look like they have the focus fire right now. This Laguna Blade will be able to get the job done from Yapstar together with the Fiend Script. Silent now trying to finish off Roshan. Perfectly timed Cyclone from Demon. They even get the Roche kill and the Aegis over on Arise, and now the kill on the Jugger. That could not have gone any worse for Team Empire in that situation. It makes you wonder, do you think Empire needed to put all their heroes in the pit? Couldn't they just do it with Juggernaut alone?
Yeah, I think maybe... I think as they're scared of, like, where MFF could come from, like where could Rubik stand and actually be effective in the fight. I mean, I guess he has a blink. He probably could have, like, been chilling around the Ancients, but I mean, yeah, Rubik died instantly in the pit. Darkseer died without getting back wall off.
Key arrow there.
Juggernaut, like, was committed to the Roshan, didn't even Omni Slash that fight. Wyvern got his ult off, but that's about it.
Oh, MFF, I wonder if they want to force out this Juggernaut buyback, and if they actually think they can get away with it. Well, it looks like they think so. They're going to jump in on Demon. Arrow's going to fly through. Didn't even manage to connect because he died so fast to Arise. And now 5-on-3 situation on the board. No buyback on Rubik. They have the Aegis, of course, on backup and doing some good damage to this tower.
They don't want to
no
waste
split,
it,
though. Yeah. Full disengage. Blink away. Moonlight Shadow. And they're out.
Probably wait for Pandalt again. Do one of those hit the racks with Shadow Feed, Panda Blinks behind, ults, make some space, hit some buildings.
This is a key item, though. I like this choice a lot in this game from Funnick. Going for a BKB.
Yeah, it's a must against Panda. That being said, SF does a ton of physical damage. Mirana does some physical damage, not a lot.
Laguna Blade
and,
with Axe.
Yeah, Laguna Blade with the Axe.
Arrow's gonna go. Actually does connect, but not on the intended target. Still, this should be enough with just a Laguna Blade. Oh, Vacuum trying to buy the time. Actually manages and gets the the mech off. Very nice play from Funnick, just buying that extra bit of time to save his ally.
Good mech, good mech.
Ophir does get away. MFF with a little bit of a cooldown now on the Laguna, but of course it is a short cooldown. Closing in on level 3 on that, by the way, for Yapstar. This is a support Lina we're watching, but it's a pretty rich one of the...
The arrow was super close.
Kind. Now Yapstar is... Well, who's actually catching who? It looks like Monkey Freedom Fighters will get the opening, but good telekinesis from Aloha Dance is going to disperse the fight for a bit.
For Empire.
Tornado, yeah, he needs to get this Omni Slash off. He will, won't actually get that Omni Slash off. And now, what's the turnaround going to be? Hesitate a little bit long there, and you do get a trade-off 1-for-1, getting the Bane for Resolution. But with this Brewmaster's play continuing inside the base, they will be claiming the Rubik as well. 2-for-1 trade. Arise survives pretty much unscathed, and we'll be looking toward the mid lane. Arrow from Sing scouting out, not finding anything.
They kept waiting for the Darkseer Wyvern combo, and the Omni Slash just, once again, it just didn't happen.
He had plenty of time to cast it too, right? After the spin, it felt like he was running for a bit, just hoping for...
Yeah, he got stunned by the Panda. He could have got like MKB canceled by the Shadow Fiend. I'm not sure, but either way, he would have been Omni Slashing into a Panda split, which isn't ideal. That's another reason why Panda was a pretty good pick this game. It's pretty good against Juggernaut. I mean, it goes both ways, but it definitely seems like it okay.
Tornado, EMP, and Vacuum all committed just to harass Rise a little bit.
They got a lot of D push. Pretty hard to high ground. It's Darkseer, Wyvern, Rubik, Invoker. But I think, they're just too strong. Shadow Fiend is way too farmed. I don't think there's anything Empire can do to fight him.
He's 10-1 and 9 at Rise in this game. We were questioning his Shadow Blade. He made it work, gotta say. And what's next on the menu for him, in your opinion, now?
I'm sorry, what?
What's next on the menu for the Shadow Fiend in his item build?
Shadow Fiend, huh? Oh, so he's got Aegis for now.
What is this shot versus Forest, though?
Probably not Butterfly.
Well, there we go.
AC?
See, Panda's probably going for... I'm not quite sure. There's pretty luxury. You could go for like a Daedalus. That doesn't sound too bad in a game like this.
Got eyes.
You could also go for something
Dance will get the blink clap, and this should be a very quick kill, unless this telekinesis actually connects, which it does. But Sing Sing is coming in from the top, claims that kill on Mirana. Mega kill for him.
It's freebie. Could go for something unconventional too. Like Shiva's Guard isn't an awful item on Shadow Fiend in a lot of games. A Hex for Juggernaut could be okay. I think probably Daedalus would be better though. Let Panda get the AC and then just go hit buildings. You could go for
the Yules combo. They're looking for it on Funnick. He gets the BKB off, but there is a Fiend script. Still, they don't have the Shadow Fiend in the neighborhood. They aren't able to bring him down. Winter's Curse finally getting deployed. Sing Sing's just getting pounded by his teammate, but they didn't follow through with any secondary, so they couldn't bring down the Mirana. And now, well, Empire, speaking of secondary, they're looking for it. They will get a Vacuum against this TP of Mirana's, and one more attack from Resolution. Actually, the Urn Charge is going to do it. Now Demon kind of stranded in no man's land. Cooldown on Boots of Travel will blink to the side, but he's spotted by a ward.
I see him.
I think he is in quite a bit of trouble here. Might have to commit his split to even stay alive, but you're not interested in that. Will be KB first, gets the clap off. Damage is not arriving just yet for Empire. If he can get a blink off, he will be fine. Still 10 seconds. Sunstrike will connect as well. Should be keeping his blink canceled for now. There's the split. Keeps getting canceled by the Cold Snap. Very nicely done by Empire. And all of a sudden, 4 kills go their way. This is a very difficult game to predict, it seems. Whenever you're leading, you're losing.
Yeah, that was pretty big. They forced out the BKB from Panda. They didn't kill SF, but they got everyone else.
Dire's top tower is under
They really tried to kill the who do they start on? Either way, they got saved, and then the Wyvern all totally took Totem out of the fight. And the Juggernaut Healing Ward just healed up Invoker and Darkseer, so...
The good thing for MFF, though, is that this time around for Empire, after a good fight, there's no collateral. There's no Roshan. They didn't have good wave push. Can't really do any tower damage, so at least they'll come back alive. But
at this point, they honestly just need farm. Like if they're like 2 of their 3 cores can catch up to Shadow Fiend, or even get somewhat close to him, Shadow Fiend's going to be way less effective as the one strong core that he is.
Speaking of that, would you turn Invoker into a physical DPS now, or do you go like full utility? He's got Orchid, Ags. Is this a refresher game and transition to like sword damage, or
he could go refresher? I think
Requiem on Funnick. He needs another raise. Actually, he doesn't need another raise. Just BKB pop, but Arise doesn't care. 70 seconds on the sideline for him. All right, go ahead. There's the Hex.
Yeah, he did get the Hex. I think that was a good choice.
And what's next then?
Careful, Juggernaut.
Gonna get hit out by the Scotty here from Arise. Can't really escape. Might have to commit the Omnislash just to stay alive. Good defensive force staff out here from No Fear. Even gonna commit.
That's not what they wanted.
A little bit of a waste of a Winter's Curse here, and that might open up the front door for Monkey Freedom Fighters. They're 5-on-4. Darkseer on the sidelines. Will have to buy back if they want to hold these barracks, I think. Crew Split is available. Sing Sing sending an illusion, so is Arise. They're just harassing these heroes, keeping them away. There goes the tower. Drunken Haze out in the Invoker Tornado. Not really going to connect on anything apart from this Shadow Fiend illusion. And there goes Jimmy in with a Blink Clap Split, forcing out the buyback. Juggernaut being Fiend Script and Laguna, but a very, very good Cold Embrace. And a nice Vacuum Wall from Funnick. Should set Empire up for a good team fight, but no! Doesn't get the Omnislash off. Got killed off by Arise with that one right click during the BKB. And now they're kind of out of damage. Funnick also being chased away here by the entirety of MFF, and they will be claiming him. At the very least, Rubik got a return kill onto Beaver Knight's Mirana, but they're suffering really heavy losses. Buyback from the Rubik, getting them into a 4-on-3 position. Or actually 3 on 4 rather, not favoring them. Hex goes out, they just don't have the damage. Ice Wall trying to buy space here. Jimmy will pop off the BKB, and that is enough to secure this kill onto the Rubik, who did buy back. That was essentially a dieback. Now looking for another kill over on No Fear. Does have the Force Staff ready. Can he get it off? No, stun locked until his death. And now Resolution, the last standing survivor here for Empire, can't really do much in his own. This is definitely 2 lanes of Rex. Might just be game.
Yep, that might just be it. Juggernaut once again not able to get Omni Slash off. You know, your one position is just totally useless in these team fights. They're just throwing all their cooldowns out of Fiend's Grip.
Oh, Laguna Blade, get out of here. Says Yapsur, sending him back to the fountain. That's 70 seconds. GG is the call out from Empire, and I think the panel was split 50-50 with who was the favorite in this game. I think
a lot of people said Empire was the favorite, but I mean honestly, Empire's been, you know, not very impressive. Not the old Empire we're used to seeing. So nice to see some newcomers take a big game, and we'll see if they can finish it out next match.
Yeah, of course, this is a best-of-3 matchup as Monkey Free Empires are now up 1-0. Do you have any? I guess Arise is the obvious standout performer in this game, ending the game with 14-1.
Yeah, absolutely. I questioned the bot's Shadowblade build, but you know he farmed a lot. He got some good pickoffs across the map.